Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So this is India's second electric SUV. After the Hyundai Kona, MG Motors brings the MG ZS EV, its second offering in the electric mobility space, which is still in the developing stages in our market. So here we are to test out the new MG ZS EV on a chilly morning in Delhi and to find out if it ticks all the boxes that it needs to be compared with an ICE powered SUV. So the MG ZS EV is actually smaller than the Hector, with its dimension similar to that of the Hyundai Creta and the Kia Seltos. I think it looks like a cute SUV, doesn't it? So starting off with some highlights of the SUV, you get these LED projector headlamps with the London Eye inspired LED DRLs reminding us of its British origin. The bonnet line seems to be a bit long, but yes, it offers a decent view of the road. So on the side it gets this electric badging over here, and you get this windmill inspired alloy wheels. Moving on to the back of the SUV, it gets these LED tail lamps inspired by the Ursa Major constellation. If you look from the back, it looks like a bit of a boxy SUV, which personally, as per me, is thumbs up. And also at the back you get this ZS EV and the Internet Inside insignia. So concluding on the design of the ZS EV, there is no such loud style statement over here, and it's as simple as it looks. So now let's move on to the interior, shall we? Moving inside the cabin, you see it's a complete different interior when compared to the Hector. So you get an all black theme with leather upholstery and brushed silver accents on the AC vents, and moving on to the center console and the instrument console. So here you can see is that touchscreen infotainment system, which displays every other information you need about the ZS EV, including the EV battery, the range, the nearest charging station, weather, music, everything that you need. So here, as you can see in the center console, thankfully it gets manual knobs for the AC, unlike the Hector. And as you can see, it gets a rotary knob for the reverse, neutral and the drive, and you have to press for the parking over here. 3 knobs for the mode, the level of the regenerative braking, and the battery specs. Here you can see the automatic parking, electronic parking brake, and the auto start stop. I must say there are a lot of cubby holes on the ZS EV, starting from one here, one down here, and lots of storage spaces on both the doors. So here, as you can see, it gets a flat bottom steering wheel with audio controls, voice controls, calling controls, and controls for the MID. Moving on, it gets this twin pod analog instrument console, which displays speed on one side and the power being used, basically the RPM of an EV. In the MID, you can see different types of information such as the range, speed, and every other small detail that you need to know about this EV. And one major highlight of the ZS EV is this panoramic sky roof, which literally covers 90% of the EV, starting from here till the boot. Talking about the performance of the ZS EV, as expected, you get power on the slightest of taps. Intense power comes in as you press harder on the accelerator. There seems like an seamless flow of the torque all throughout the range. So usually we don't relate EVs to performance, but with the MG ZS EV, definitely I have performance on my mind, because we were able to take it up to 150 kilometers per hour, which went effortlessly without any slightest show of lag. With all these things, I experienced that the ZS EV is quite enthusiastic to drive and to get ahead swiftly. We were able to take it up to 80 to 90% of torque or the power percentage in the EVs, and there was no sort of disturbances or any problems with that. With 3 people seated in the car, there was no sign of slow response as well. So there are 3 regeneration braking levels, one being the lightest and third being the heaviest. On the third level, so as you lift off your foot from the pedal, there's an awesome jerk. But of course, with the third level of regeneration braking, you are saving up on a lot of battery. That makes up to around something 5%. Moving on to the suspension part, it is set towards the stiffer setup and it manages to soak over most of the potholes and undulations at high speeds. At lower speeds, there's some disturbance, but that won't matter much. We were able to take the ZS EV up to 140 or 150 kilometers per hour, and we managed to stay at that speed as well. Through that, we noticed that the SUV remains well planted and stable at high speeds. That's probably because of the perfectly balanced center of gravity by placing the lithium ion battery pack on the floorboard. Also, the steering is quite light, but as you move up the speed, you notice that there's some artificial weight suddenly being added to the steering wheel, which makes it a bit heavy, and also gives us confidence that yes, the car will be stable at high speeds. Ride quality of the ZS EV is pretty decent, but still not best in its class. Continuing on the stability part, the body roll of the SUV is quite in control, and with sharp turns, there's a slight bit of a body roll that we can expect from an SUV. Also, talking about the braking, that's pretty impressive over here. Even with the slightest of pressure on the brake pedal, the car comes to an assuring halt. Since it's an EV, we definitely have to talk about its charging solutions as well. So MG offers a standard AC charger completely free of cost with the ZS EV, which takes around 6 to 8 hours to fully charge the EV. Also, MG has installed 50 kilowatt super fast chargers at their dealerships, which will charge the EV from 0 to 80% in just 50 minutes. So here is the standard AC charger installed over here, and the same unit will also be installed at your home or your office. So let me show how it works. First, you have to unlock the car so you can open this logo. Then take this, press the logo here, and this opens. Put on this and then lock the car. The EV can only be charged when the car is locked. And then you get this RFID cards, 2 cards for your use. You have to scan it over here, then you will get a sound, and then it will show that the EV is charging. Also, that can be indicated by the blue light that comes on the MG branding. So drawing on the verdict of the MG ZS EV, yes, it manages to tick off most of the boxes that it requires. Performance, daily dependability, handling and the ride quality all are taken care of. Although I feel that the car is a bit compact or tight for the rear passengers. So MG has said that it is expected to be priced around rupees 23 lakhs ex-showroom. Yes, that is quite expensive, but we have to live with the fact that for some time EVs are going to be costly. So as for the ZS EV, it makes a great city runabout car, and with a range of around 300 kilometers with mixed driving, you can also take it out for very short outstation trips. But given the current infrastructure that we have in India for electric vehicles, that's the most that you can get out of the MG ZS EV. So that's all that we had about the MG ZS EV. If you want to know more details about it, please let us know in the comment section below. So like this video, share this video, and subscribe to Car Blog India for more such car reviews and bike reviews. This is your host Tarun Kocher signing off. Thank you.